Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another one in my vlog series that I do through the Memphis Songwriters Association in conjunction with the blog that I write for them, talking all about songwriting and what has worked for various artists over the course of a handful of years, whether those songs have been hits or not. So, this latest kick that I'm on, it's called Sometimes It's Okay to Be Possessive. These are songs that use possessives in the title, uh, apostrophe S's, S apostrophes, things like that. This week we have thus far looked at the song Sylvia's Mother by Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, and now we are going to close out this week's discussion with Maggie's Farm by Bob Dylan. So this song, unlike the others that we have looked at, the other one that we have looked at, is unique because it has multiple possessives in the lyrics, despite just the one possessive in the song title. Dylan begins by talking about the perils of working on Maggie's farm. By the end of 1966, the world was Bob Dylan's, and we were just living in it. But this song works tremendously well with the use of possessives, even within the repetitive blues structure, essentially only providing two new lines of information in between the bookends of who we ain't gonna work for anymore, or no more, to be a little bit more specific. In the first verse, he talks about how Maggie makes him scrub the floor. In the second verse, talking about how Maggie's brother finds you every time you slam the door, how Maggie's pa serves as the National Guard, meaning he can't leave, and how Maggie's ma is the brains behind pa. Side note about this verse, you have Minnesota Mike's express permission when you're 68 to tell people you're 24. Dylan's aversion to working for the man or woman shines brightly in this song, and the use of possessives, this is their farm, so I can't do what I want, is especially effective here. When I nerd out about grammar in songs, I typically joke that it was clearly intentional for the writer to use a certain tense, but Bob's attention to detail within songs makes it entirely possible that he actively thought about this while writing. After all, he did win the Nobel Prize in Literature. So melodically and structurally, this song is written in the key of G major using G, C7, D, which is a 1, 4, 7, 5 pattern. Instrumentally, the song contains electric guitar, bass, harmonica, and drums. The song contains all verses, of which there are 5. As I've mentioned in previous blogs, it is important in your writing to know the moment. Bob is no stranger to not having choruses in his songs, instead relying on hooks at the end of each verse, tying back to a central theme. But with Maggie's Farm, the title only comes up in the first verse, despite allusions to Maggie's ma and pa. Given the bluesy nature of the song, the reliance on repeating Maggie's Farm at the end of each verse would be too repetitive, so I believe that this is an excellent compositional choice. Like I said, look at Bob Dylan doing things intentionally as he's writing, and I don't mean just things, I mean everything. You can take a listen to Maggie's Farm. I did mention 1966 earlier. That was the end of this period between 64 and 66 where he had released, let's see, 5 albums, and then the standalone single of Positively 4th Street. And within that span, on Bringing It All Back Home, that's where Maggie's Farm wound up, and it's just a phenomenal song. So take a listen, again, with new ears if you have heard it before, and if you haven't heard it before, then that's even better. You can hear it for the first time and experience it with all of this analysis that Bob Dylan didn't ask for. So I'm Minnesota Mike. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week, we are going to look at 2 more songs on this Possessives kick, Somebody's Baby by Jackson Browne, and Drops of Jupiter by Train, which actually does not use an apostrophe, but I'll explain that next week. Thank you so much. I am Minnesota Mike.